Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to this installation of the Many Things IT podcast, and looking forward to having a conversation about many things. My name is Andisiwe and today is a special episode. We brought the sound guy as our very first guest. And also it's a gents only session today. So that should be interesting. Please introduce yourself, guys.
And then there's another very, very rowdy guest. Yeah, you will excuse the noise. Everyone, hello, it's Tipho. As Andisiwe sure it's a very, very special recording. We are trying out a lot of things, and hopefully things are going to get to where we want them to be.
When are we getting video, though?
Soon. You guide us.
Okay, so we have a commitment to have video soon.
So we're joined by a special guest. Would that introduce? He's helping us on a very, very important aspect of our production. His name is.
Hi everyone, this is Nakekelwe Zigalala, and yeah, I'm here to help the gents and the movement.
That's the part where we say yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I'm sure there's an air horn somewhere that some guy's going to put it.
Yeah.
Welcome, Nakekelwe.
Thank you guys for having me.
And thank you very much. I did do a brief intro on our way here, on how we're having these conversations, and we appreciate having you here. We hadn't prepared you as a guest. We hadn't planned to have you as a guest. You were here purely to assist us, and we do appreciate. But speaking of it, we discuss a lot of things IT, a lot of things technology, basically. And that's why we're here. It's more technology than IT.
Yeah.
That's why you're here. You're in a branch of technology that's quite interesting. Tell us more about what you do.
So I'm a sound engineer. I studied in Pretoria for 3 years. Luckily, after 3 years, I got a job, but as an audio-visual technician. So whereby I would do home singing and as a sales consultant. So that was my first job. It did I did some sound within the home theater space, but from the sound configuration part, that was my main responsibility. Yeah.
Okay. You know me, I'll always ask the very messed up questions. But is it in your field where, say, you go to a festival, there's Luju coming up, and there's always that sound set up?
Yeah.
Do you do that as well?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, because
it's a live sound engineer.
Okay.
If you operate for the artists there, you are a live sound engineer.
That last Luchu sound was terrible. So I hope they do better this year. And yes, there are local people. That's good to know.
Hopefully the person who gets the tender does the job right this time.
Yeah, if not, I'm protesting and I'm putting your name in the.
Let me take you guys away from politics. But I think what is quite interesting to me, and I appreciate this conversation. What is quite interesting to me is that at the base of it, you're mentioning sound engineering, and then now you break it down to audio visuals and live, what. That to me tells me that there are many facets to it.
Yeah.
would you care to actually simplify and unpack what each facet of it is about and it entails?
Okay, so from the live sound,
Yeah.
So there's different. I can say it's a tree, but there's different branches within live sound.
Okay.
So what you can do is there's what we call front of house mixing.
Okay.
So this is where, as an audience, you get the full sound. Then there's a monitor mixing engineer. This is the person responsible for mixing music for the artists. So mnetipika bakhona a stage that buke ama-artists.
Okay.
So normally banemuntu ke lo bakhona lo buke leyo sound le.
Okay.
So it's sound the monitor and front of house I find.
Okay.
Yeah, I find. So from live sound, I think look basic, look
Okay.
All right. Yes.
All right.
Yes.
What do they listen to with the FBI headphones that they always have on?
So umabete lama monitor is what we call in-ear monitoring.
Oh, okay, that's still monitoring.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's a substitute from Etipika.
Okay.
If you put Etipika, then it's the in-ear.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a learning experience. But yeah.
Is okay. It's well and good. And as an industry in the country, Eswatini, what would your comments be with it? Are there opportunities that could be picked up by a person that is looking at answering a career option question?
In Swaziland, it's a bit, I'd say, industry lekhulako.
Okay.
That is why you find most people sebaqale kuthenga isound.
Okay.
And sebaqala grantisa.
Yes.
And people are opening studios.
Yes.
For music. So I believe it's an industry lekhulako, but it needs more time.
Okay.
Because we have I think we have two big sound companies.
Yes.
In which Niwati.
One of which is
yeah, I just know Destiny.
Yeah,
the other one.
There's his name, but now he does gospel festivals.
Okay. So it's more specialized.
Yeah. So
I know there's someone who was looking at investing in sound. Sometime I know. And then there are the small guys that are leasing sound equipment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do see that, and I think we also do have our own flavor of events and festivals. One thing that I've always asked myself is whether we have enough to have a sustainable industry. And then on the studio side, I know a few that are doing small jobs. Okay, jobs around advertisements and that, but I think it is an area that that can grow, but it will grow as long as industry embraces it.
Yeah. But yeah, shout outs to all the sound people out there trying to make a decent living. Hopefully you can use this. I'm sure there'll be a chat. They can use the chat, the comment section to just post their info, their numbers, and hopefully they get some customers.
And even ask questions, because that is how you grow.
Definitely. Yeah.
And how we're looking at utilizing your skill is basically to make the production one that can be consumable by a person. I was trying to see what conversations we can have, but the output is as important as the conversations, because you may have the dopest conversation, but no one is going to listen to something that's true. That's unlistenable. All right.
It's true.
Have you guys heard about something called men's house and ladies' house Eswatini?
Before we get to those, I'm not sure if I want to go to those. You said you studied in Pretoria.
Yeah, Pretoria.
What are the requirements? Again, trying to answer a question to someone that's looking at career options.
Okay. I think it's the basic requirements. Matric, from 5.
Yeah.
And okay, some schools bafuna like a bit of background, whether it's music or sound.
Okay.
I think that's the basic requirement.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
There's a guy called Sooks. One of the
DJs.
DJs.
What is he doing?
Shout out to him.
Yeah, shout out to Sooks. He always gives a dope performance, for lack of a better word. But what is he doing? Do you know?
I'm not quite sure.
I think he studied sound engineering or something.
Oh.
I know there's quite a few guys that have done it. But I don't know if there is sufficient information to us. And what was a problem growing up in terms of understanding what options are. It's just that the information just wasn't there. Probably it has gotten better, but you can imagine there's this cool option that you can go into or do towards a career, particularly a career also that can allow you to be entrepreneurial. That there is so little information about. I know there's a guy called Ndomiso Lamini.
I think I know him.
You could. I do know that generally he also pursued a similar type of qualification into one of the many aspects of it is doing some artist management as well. And some productions.
Yeah, and he judges Spotlight.
Yes.
Yeah, MTN should bring back Spotlight.
Yes, but yeah, you see, those type of things just come up. It's whether you are able to tap into them or they find you along the way. It's unlike a medicine. Everyone out there may know that.
Yeah, true.
There is a career option called medicine. It's quite interesting.
And if you do it big. Success vector is very lucrative.
Yeah. Nakekelwe,
yes.
You've explained the what. Umbuto ke sokuthi what are you available to do work for people and events and if yes, what type of
work? I'm available. I'm available with a live sound, musically, studio, any type of work that requires sound.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what are your requirements to a person that is looking to partner with a person with sound and you are an option?
I think dedication. Being dedicated to whatever project. Let's do it like you. Okay. I think for me that's important. Now look at me. I'm still building myself up as a sound engineer. So I don't have much Yes. Okay. Yes.
All right.
So I'm pretty much open with seven
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. No, artists have impossible demands, right? So yeah.
That's true. Yeah. No, I'm pretty open.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, comment section. Actually, video bio. You should have your details there.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Are there any projects that you've been involved in Swaziland or wherever?
Not in Swaziland,
Okay.
but in SA, I was interning for a company that was editing shows from Zanzi Magic,
Okay.
but as an assistant engineer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was a short intern for, I think it was 5 to 6 months.
Okay.
So I'm in the logo, and then I came back.
Oh, okay.
So I think that's one of the projects that I've done.
But 6 months is quite an amount of time
To acquire,
in which you acquire experience.
Yeah.
And you always build up on that.
Yeah. Now, Lobuti, you get the picture.
Yes.
Of what is happening.
Okay.
Then you go do your own research about it.
Yes.
And learn about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I think my comment would be all the best in your career, and whatever you're looking at doing. I wish you all the best that you require, and from my end, we do need people that will break certain barriers. There's quite a few people that are in the same space of work that are looking to venture into and grow. Where you have opportunities to engage with them, do, and explore opportunities, grow. There is so much that can be done to create stuff that can be monetized over time.
True. Yeah.
That's true.
But yeah, thank you for hitting the call.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much.
I have a very I would say close friend, but I have a very nice relationship with a person called Ziao, who is into similar. And yes, shout out to him.
Shout out to him.
Very. You know how we met?
Okay.
We were we joined a competition for businesses, and we conversed, and it was like, yeah, my business is around sound, and to me I was like, it's like, yeah, it's around sound. I do recordings and that, and he was doing quite a lot of production for shows.
Oh yeah.
Gospel shows. I had never been exposed to that kind of. Of course, you know, you go to a show or you listen to something, you know that it has been produced and that. But
yeah,
basically now interacting a person that was a very talented person, humble for his talent, and for me personally, is always that when we've met, he's always at that time and space for me. Yeah.
I don't know him, but shout out to him. Yeah.
And I think he's one of the leading guys in terms of sound.
Yes.
I think that's the person I was thinking about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, when it was Destiny and
Yeah.
He's quite a very, very talented guy.
Yeah.
So you saw him build his entire project from ground up at the time.
No. We were in a business related competition which was being run by Technoserve at that time. Me and a couple of friends were doing some development.
Okay.
And we pitched that as our entry. It was quite a useful and rich program, because we underwent a 6-week training program, and then other people then went on and established businesses, particularly those that got monetary prizes.
Oh yeah.
One of which was my good friend Millis, who went
Oh,
and
yeah.
established Transmagnific.
Shout out to Transmagnific.
Yeah.
Shout out to Melissa.
Yeah.
Yeah, but all the best and everything.
No, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
I think for this one we'll need a shout out count. We've had so many shout outs already. But yes, shout out to our listeners also.
Yeah.
Yes, I wanted us to have a conversation around basically free internet. I'm an advocate for free internet. I believe people should be given the internet to use it how they see fit, but
free to who?
No, like, don't police the internet. Don't restrict the internet. But people should be able to self-govern.
Restriction in what context?
Don't take away Facebook from the people, for example. Don't take away Twitter from the people, for example. Even though people are going to
be taken away.
It's something that we see in some jurisdictions, like for example in China.
Okay.
Social media is restricted. I think there's also a lot of fact checking now that goes on. So
yeah, especially on like Twitter.
Yeah.
Like some bots where they just verify whatever information.
Yeah. So I think that helps. And it basically enables for a safer version of the free internet. And in our case,
but it depends. It depends because there's power relations to it. I mean, we saw from February last year at the breakout of the war in Ukraine. What we saw, the clean out of certain content to me presented itself in a way that was more around which side are you on, not necessarily whether it is true what a person was posting about. We also saw it in COVID as well. During COVID, there were certain contents that were being removed because of what they were advocating for, particularly around the to vaccinate or not to vaccinate type of conversations.
But that's the free internet aspect of it. Like, these companies should not be forced to remove tweets or posts and comments because of them being false. If you put out an idea out there, right? Even if it's a stupid one, whoever receives it, their job is to apply their own logic.
But there is an idea and that there is an intention to mislead. Where do you draw the line
of it?
Intentional misinformation.
Intentional misinformation may exist. It does exist actually, but no one person or no one entity, actually not even a group of entities should come together and assume that now they are the police of information and whatever they say is correct. And because they are also liable to provide misinformation, or they're also likely to provide misinformation.
It could be a long conversation, but probably we need to structure it. There are so many angles to it. I think it may need to be structured, and it may need a dedicated day.
Yeah. So the reason why I'm bringing it up
is, I mean, where we. As it is, where we started from, it was certain platforms being blocked in certain jurisdictions. And then we went into where it is not blocked, certain content or whatever. But again, there's just so many phases to it. Probably it requires its own dedicated time.
Yeah, but today, what I wanted us to discuss today is that issue of in Eswatini, men's house, women's house, ladies' house, that's what it's called. What we have seen is, in my own personal opinion, we have seen madness come up and run rampant in society. And there is no truer depiction of madness running rampant than the existence of these two groups on Facebook, I think. Yeah. My question to you, Jens, because I sit and I think the problem is, yes, the internet should be free. People should be allowed to post within limits. Are we doing enough as a society to ensure that that bridge between the internet not being a real place and its real life impact, where now you've said something on the internet and it constitutes cyberbullying and it has real life implications? Are we doing enough to protect people from that?
Do you want to jump on it, Nat?
Okay, my question is, who is we?
Society, because generally what happens is these groups go viral, and it's like we are all coming together to not only listen but also enable.
So here is my take, Andisiwe. I'm not exposed to the actuals within both groups. I only seen reference to the women's house by certain posts that were being made by women on social media platforms that I am in. But it's this type of things that have never that had never interested me. But in terms of actually understanding what exactly is happening within it, I was just out of it. With Men's House, I've heard about it. A person I know has sort of shown me some of the posts. It's not also type of content that I'm interested in. But generally, what I saw on the 2-3 posts that I was shown, it points to a problem that we have in society. I'm not sure whether it has to do with people using such type of groups to release certain pressure points that they have, because what I saw I can safely say it was bullying. Identity of a person and a picture, and that picture also had a child. All of those out there in the open, and then allegations being made of a person. To me, it then questions what happens to the being measured as a person, first of all, and secondly, what is it that would make a person go to that level to actually say this person has this child, and this child does not belong to the person to whom the child is, and then showing also their pictures and that. I don't know what is it that would lead a person to go to such lengths. That's one. And then you also get to then the excitement around it also then says to me, where then do we apply the filters as people?
Yep.
I'm not interested in participating. I've never been. It's not a kind of content that interests me. But
okay, so mine is, if I hacked someone or a company or the government, I would face real consequence, because I have used basically technology and the internet to cause damage to that organization. Right?
Yeah.
And we are having a conversation about people who are using the internet to do damage to people this time. It just, to me, it seems like it's without consequence. And I don't think it should be without consequence, because these are real people.
So if you go by what, okay, I'm also not a legal person, but if you go by what certain laws that we have say, particularly the Computer Crimes and and what act. Those are criminal acts. I think, though, the caveat with them being criminal acts, they require someone to lay a charge. It is unlike murder, where the state takes, where the state takes interest, wherein whether or not a charge is laid, the state takes interest and it pursues a case. Yeah, someone then has to go and lay a charge against a person and an investigation be made. But also, as you know, with cases that touch on cyber and the cyber types of cyber crimes, there are different phases to it. Where was the crime committed? Was the crime committed in Swaziland or not? Physical and then virtual, because there is the physical location of the person that does that. There is the location where the platform is hosted. There is the location where the victim is. But I think, as far as I understand, I think as far as the law is concerned, it actually covers all three bases. But be that as it may, I don't need a law to understand that what I'm doing is not it.
Yeah, because people fail to self-govern. You know, you fail. Now you then need someone to do it for you. But yeah, I truly understand that this is a very complicated conversation, and again, as an advocate for free internet, I have to acknowledge that it has to be used responsibly. So my advice, basically, to anyone who has been a victim of cyberbullying, or if the internet has been used, social media has been used to cause reputational and emotional distress to you, do reach out to the authority. I think Tipho mentioned Logo Gutsi, unlike other crimes, this one you actually have to go and report. So I read and I saw an article about someone who was actually arrested for posting on one of these groups. So I think we need to give the law an opportunity to work, and we do that by actually reporting these things and then letting it take over. But yes, thank you for the conversation.
I think to me, Andy, so it also goes beyond the, to me, the criminality of it is down the line. What values do we inculcate in building the nation? We start within the home, but also in the home, there is the important element and aspect of how do we promote the interrelationship between the male and female sexes. Because to me, at the base of this behavior that you are seeing, the core and what is at the base of it is that these things that we are taught and we teach at home. How do we as men look at women? Do we look and see it? Do we look at them and see them as objects? Yes, objects that we can do anything about and with. You understand? Because umangabe ulanzela, you find ukuthi in the men's house, the so-called men's house, there are conversations. Let's say this one low, and then you post a picture of a female. Ngamniketa yekuda wangedi. Mboneni.
But that's kind of weak, though. Like, people should take pride.
So basically, it starts and ends in saying, what did I give out, and did she come? And it goes beyond. I mean, the example I gave earlier,
yeah,
it scared me, because now sickness trauma and what is it that should happen, and what is it that must happen now? Biggest trauma and a 4-year-old lab. nembuso bamagwa. Basically, we are plastering an insult to those people. Suppose it was true, how is it your business?
How is it everyone's business?
Yes, how is it everyone's business?
And it affects the family.
Exactly.
Not just the mother and the child, but
exactly.
the whole family.
Exactly. And by family, you mean the mother, the child, the husband.
Yes.
The parents of the husband, the parents of the mother,
the uncles,
the uncles and everyone.
Yeah, including the other alleged parents
exactly.
who were affected in.
Yes. Yes. And that says to me, and hear me correctly, I'm not saying those things don't exist and shouldn't exist, but the subjects that are involved in that or that are victims of that should have a way of dealing with it without involving the rest of the public in place. How many faults have you done as a person on anything? And hence the saying that says everyone is a skeleton in their closet. And what if those were just irresponsibly taken out there in the public? How would you feel? But beyond that, you're actually dehumanizing a person and making a person, you are taking their confidence, you're taking them, the person who there is huge irresponsibility, but also over and above that, it is an act that is criminal in nature and that has been defined as such within the laws of not just Eswatini but global.
Maybe to play devil's advocate, it holds true that there was a woman's house, a lady's house, before there was a men's house. And I do not know what was posted there. So maybe just having the conversation holistically. I'm coming back. Are we doing enough? Are we, as a nation, are we visible enough to say, hey, if you are a victim or if you feel victimized by something someone has done on the internet, this is exactly where you should go. Or and maybe you don't know the process there, or maybe you'll get someone who will not be as sensitive to the issue. And thoughts?
I think again, sitting here, I'm not a subject matter expert, but it speaks again to a lot of things. That is the state represented by the legal system ready to deal and ready to receive, investigate, prosecute this kind of complaints. A case in point, what has been the success rate of the state to deal with similar gender-based violence, codified criminality? There was a lot of hapalu around, sort of, for example, what has been the success rate of issues and matters that have been reported like that? But sitting here, I can't. And sitting here, I can't comment and with authority. I cannot, and I have very limited comments. I may have my own opinions, but not for this conversation and platform at this point. But yeah, what is happening, what my observation of what is happening, especially of what I've seen in the men's one, the fact that there is a ladies' house, because one of the angles of complaint is that there is a ladies' house that is saying so many things about men, where you get posted and whatever. I don't know. The fact that it exists, it does not justify the other one to exist.
True.
So for me, in closing, it's quite sad as a society, like where we are, because this thing, in a way, people find it as entertainment. There's this entertainment factor to it.
Yes.
So it's quite sad because we are entertained by people's pain or whatever the case is.
Yeah.
So it goes to say, I think let's try and be good human beings, because this is not the way. If you have an issue, a moon or someone didn't come, I think there's responsible ways or adult ways that we can find to communicate our grievances.
Yeah, correct. And there's the simple step of walking out. Just walk out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, a few weeks ago, I sit here and I post a question that said, has the South African ruined Twitter? Fast forward a few weeks later, the South African kills Twitter and replaces it with an X.
With an X.
So I'll ask again. Has the South African successfully ruined Twitter? Nage, what do you think?
For me, I think he hasn't. Because I can almost see what he's trying to do with Twitter. Nyalo. But I think it's the development stage of him trying to find ways to, I think, rebrand or shift it into a different place. So for me, I'd say not yet.
Okay.
My view is based on a very simplistic model. What is Twitter used for?
Communication.
Are we still able to communicate?
Yeah, we are.
So
sharing opinions. It's still there.
It's still there, and also he's trying to put certain restrictions in terms of number of tweets, number of words that you can use, this or that. I think it affects certain people. I'm not a serial tweeter, but I'm in the thing. Once in a while, I will post something. To me, it's a medium that is being used to communicate, but also it is a medium that is being used more for entertainment purposes.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's trying to do. Once I get tired of it, I'll simply move out of it.
And then Evil Corporation responds by releasing something called Threads. I think it was popping that first week or so. Now I don't see as many threads as
it's been quiet.
Yeah, it's been quiet.
Why?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't have enough information. As I know it's X now. Whatever is informing the X. I know that on the Tesla side there is an X somewhere where I think one of the models. But I don't have enough information, so I don't care what it does.
No, so Facebook or
with the platform that he bought for billions.
Yeah.
I don't care.
So they're called Meta now. So Meta released a Twitter-esque platform called Threads.
Yes.
Yeah, it is linked to Instagram.
Yes, I saw that.
I hate Facebook. I dislike Facebook so much.
The thing is that it's just like traditional business. As long as they take us to it, and there's certain stages that are very important. The uptake within the first stage is important. It is going to inform what is going to happen of threads or something or whatever. And I know where their entry lines is saying they're trying to negate the restrictions that Twitter is applying, but we've seen it before. What is it that attempted to exploit restrictions from WhatsApp?
The Telegram.
Yes, but their uptake as well is not one advantage that those that are already in the market have over those that are not in the market yet. Is the fact that they already have the market. The question is the market willing to move?
Yeah, but but what also we we have to acknowledge that sometimes being first to market does not mean
Of
success.
course.
I mean, MySpace, for example,
Of course.
they were in the game, they fizzled out. So has, by evil corporation, I mean Facebook, Meta, have they identified Twitter? Have they attacked Twitter at its lowest point?
I don't know. Time will tell. Probably you follow it better. I don't. It hasn't been my area of interest. I just saw what I saw, and that is what I saw is very basic. So I don't know the code, but time will tell. As a platform requires an inter-participation of the participants. At this point, I think they still have sufficient participation. You still, as long as you still have something called Black Twitter.
Yeah.
I think it usually keeps.
Twitter.
I think it usually keeps quite a huge interest, especially on. Yeah, it keeps quite a huge interest, but probably if they successfully create a similar on the other end, it is going to pick up the interest. But again, you just like with any form of development, sometimes we aren't able to predict what is going to happen because we don't know the triggers of that. These things just turn around like.
I hope Threads crashes and burns just because it's by Meta.
You have your own issues.
I will explain.
I don't know what I don't know what your issues, what the background of your issues is, but you have your own issues.
The background of my issue, my gripe with Facebook Corporation, aka Evil Corporation, aka Meta, is they violate even the basic privacy considerations.
Who doesn't?
But those guys really don't care.
Who doesn't? Who cares?
Other companies do a lot better than Facebook.
Which ones?
Other companies do a lot better.
Which one?
Twitter, for example, does a lot better than
Why
Facebook.
do you say they do a lot?
Because of the proven record. If there is one company that you are guaranteed your data will receive zero safety, is Facebook.
So which restrictions for you are they violating?
So you collect people's information, right?
Yeah.
Now it's yours, it's in your servers. Just don't share that information with other people without their consent. So data subjects have rights, and not according to Facebook.
I agree with you, but I'm not sure why you would give the others the benefit of the doubt. To me, they're all the same. Facebook, Twitter, Google, and the like. All of them, they are the same. There is to me.
We have grown to trust Google just because Google's our friend. You know, like, think about it. Think if you woke up one morning and you tried to connect to the internet and you were not getting the responses that you...
To me, they are the same. And to me, they are the same. It's just that someone has been brought... someone has attention brought to them more than others. But to me, they are the same.
Because that's the naughtiest child. But Google is so reliable.
But there you go again. Now you're talking about reliability.
Yeah.
But reliability has got nothing to do with it. Reliability has got nothing to do with violations.
Have you tried? Every time my mother logs on with her Google email, I don't know why she has so many log-ons. I get an email saying this account was used to sign in on this device, just because I'm her recovery email. That's Google. That's them trying to establish, trust, or to keep that trust going.
Anyway, I think we said quite a lot of nothing for the longest time. I think we need to bring this conversation to a close. And if you found it interesting or if you found it boring, or if you thought we could have, we misinformed, or if you thought we misinformed, do provide the feedback on the comments, and let's get the conversation going.
Peace.
Bye.